Hey there, guys. So let's talk about this Mikey Garcia Adrien Broner fight that's taking place at 140. Mikey Garcia is going to be moving up to 140 to face Adrien Broner. Now, I got to be honest, this is not a fight that I saw coming. I really didn't expect this fight, and to be honest, I think that this fight took quite a lot of people by surprise. We weren't expecting to see it because Mikey Garcia has talked about unifications with people like Terry Flanagan and Jorge Linares and whatnot at lightweight. So I wasn't really expecting him to be looking towards 140 just yet. I mean, there was also talks of him potentially facing Vasyl Lomachenko if he were to move up. So yeah, a fight against Adrien Broner to me seemed a little bit illogical. It seemed a little bit weird to me. I didn't really expect something like this to happen, but the fight's happening either way. It's a decent fight. You guys know my views on Adrien Broner, okay? I don't rate Adrien Broner as a fighter. I think he's very overrated. I think he's very limited. I think that the most effective things that he does in the ring are illegal, and he should have been disqualified in several fights, particularly in his last fight against Adrian Granados, where he lost every single round clearly and was given a gift decision on the scorecards. People disagree with that. I don't give a shit. If you think Adrien Broner won that fight, you're just a twat, okay? So just get off my channel. He didn't win that fight. It wasn't even competitive. All he did was hold and headbutt and elbow the whole fucking fight. He never even threw any meaningful punches, okay? While the other guy was handily outboxing and outworking him in every round of the fight. And honestly, with the reaction that I heard from many people on YouTube about that fight, I thought I was going insane. I really did, because I'm hearing so many people saying that Adrien Broner had done enough to win, and I can't believe the dishonesty and the delusions of so many people online that, you'll just make shit up to suit your narrative. You really will, because he didn't win that fight. If you think he won that fight, I don't know what to say to you. I really don't. He was clearly outworked, outboxed, outlanded, and looked like a chump in there. And to be honest, he should have been disqualified with all that holding and fucking elbowing and shit that he did the whole fight. I mean, grabbing hold of the guy and pushing forward, just to slow down the action and shit, and then elbowing him in the face. And, it was just a disgusting performance, and it was typical from Adrien Broner. I mean, that's all the guy does is fucking hold and cheat. He did the same shit against Sean Porter, and tried that shit against Maidana too. So, he's just to me, Adrien Broner, the guy doesn't know how to fight, okay? The guy's just a boxing troll who just cheats his way through fights, doesn't make weight. And, skill-wise, he's not that good. I mean, he's quite slow on his feet. He's wide open to the body. I mean, if you look at his fight against Paulie Malignaggi, for example, he was getting hit to the body numerous times in that fight. He looked very, very slow. His feet looked tethered to the canvas. And, I mean, even in his fights against people like Ponce de Leon a while back, in his fight against, what was his name? I forgot the dude's name. There was another guy that gave him a tough fight too. But Adrien Broner, I've never really been impressed with him, even in his fight against Ashley Theophane. And Ashley Theophane's a fucking journeyman, okay? That guy couldn't even beat people like Daniel Thorpe, okay? So how the fuck is that guy fighting at world level? It doesn't make any sense to me. But even in that fight, Adrien Broner had problems at times, and he seemed to be struggling with the pace, and he just looked like absolute shit, in my opinion. I just don't rate Adrien Broner. I just think he's a complete fraud, in my opinion. Really don't rate him at all. I've talked about this in previous videos. Going in against Mikey Garcia, it seems like Mikey Garcia should be a favourite, and I believe he is the favourite going into this fight. The only issue, though, for Mikey Garcia is, one, he's been quite inactive. Mikey Garcia is one of these guys who has had a lot of layoffs in his career due to promotional issues and whatnot. And also the fact he's moving up to 140. I don't think he's ever fought at 140 before. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't. Can he deal with the illegal tactics of Broner? I mean, Broner's just your typical faggot American fighter who likes to hold and cheat. And I don't know, has Mikey Garcia ever fought anybody like that? Well, I suppose he did fight Orlando Salido, who is even worse a cheater than Broner. But to be honest, Orlando Salido isn't quite as big or as physically strong as Broner, so I'm not quite sure if Mikey Garcia, I don't know. I don't know how he'll be able to deal with those tactics, because Adrien Broner, just like Andre Ward and Hopkins and all these guys, gets away with murder. So I think Mikey Garcia, he's gonna have to be training for intensity here, kind of like Maidana did. You know, Maidana really brought the heat in the ring with Broner. He was very intense. He applied a heck of a lot of pressure. You know, he worked the body. He didn't give Broner room to breathe. You know, he didn't allow Broner to hold him. When Broner tried to hold, Maidana would stick his fucking head in his face and just to get him off. And you know, that's the kind of approach that Mikey Garcia needs to take to this fight. He needs to be smart, and he needs to be rough, and he needs to be assertive. You know, he can't allow Adrien Broner to you know, drag him into a fight where it's hugging and you know, fouling and shit. He needs to be the stronger guy. He needs to push Broner off him. He needs to be able to work inside. You know, he needs to make being the bigger puncher count, because I do think Mikey Garcia is the bigger puncher. I mean, if you look at his last fight against Dejan, for example, I mean, he really does hit hard, Mikey Garcia. The question is, will he take that power up to 140 with him? You know, that's the question, isn't it? I mean, Mikey Garcia, to me, he's a very good boxer. You know, he's fundamentally sound. You know, he's got good defense, good power, good jab. You know, he seems to throw combinations with power very well. You know, he's a decent boxer. He's fundamentally sound, and I think that, you know, judging on punch technique and fundamental skills, he's by far the better boxer here. The only thing is the weight issue, because Broner is the bigger guy, and also how is he going to deal with moving up to 140, and how is he going to deal with those illegal tactics? Those are my only issues here with Mikey Garcia. But I think, you know, I may make another video closer to the fight once I've seen some training footage, or once I've seen the weigh-in or something. But to be honest, as things stand right now, I favour Mikey Garcia to win the fight, probably by decision. The reason I say by decision is because Adrien Broner is one of these guys who is very, very difficult to stop. And the reason why is because he knows how to survive in there. You know, he's kind of like Ward, in the sense that you can put him down, but he'll get up and he'll exploit his way through the fight using illegal tactics, holding, complaining to the ref and shit like that. You know, he's, you know, typical American faggot fighter, basically. And I know that a lot of my American subscribers are going to be offended by this, but it's just the way a lot of you guys fight. You fight like fucking fags, okay? It's just how it is. So yeah, and Adrien Broner's no different. Okay, he's from the Bernard Hopkins, Andre Ward school of boxing. You know, where the most effective things he does in the ring are illegal. And you know, Mikey Garcia just needs to be aware of that. You know, going into this fight, he needs to be aware that this guy is a dirty, cheating piece of shit, and the only way he's gonna win is if he beats him at his own game. You know, be smart and dirty, okay? Don't allow Adrien Broner to take you out of your game by holding every 2 seconds and shit. Make sure that you're willing to be rough inside if you have to. And you know, keep the distance when you need to and stuff. Don't be wound up by him imploring you to come inside. You know, gesturing for you to throw punches. Throw punches when you want to throw punches. Fight when you want to fight. You know, fight at your pace. That's how you beat a fighter like Broner, I think. You know, don't let him dictate the pace at all. You need to dictate the pace, and I think that's what Mikey Garcia needs to do. But, you know, this is just my initial thoughts. I don't know if this is exactly a prediction. Like I said, I'll probably do another video on the fight, but let me know what you guys think anyway. And at this stage, I'm thinking Mikey Garcia will probably win. Thanks for watching.